Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson we are going to apply all the previous knowledge that we have been learning. We will have a problem. It's a real world problem, but it's a kind of mix because it's a problem that could exist, but it's designed to apply different types of patterns, different types of prompts, and apply different types of agents. Let's take a look. The Fixed Tech company is a medium-sized company that sells smart home devices and is in Europe and Latin America and provides customer support through email, chat, and web form. Important here, email, chat, and web form. There is different sources where the tickets related with the customer support are provided. Both in English and Spanish, their support thing is overwhelming with incoming tickets, many of which are repetitive or could be handled without human involvement. That is so typical, and one of the use cases where the company usually apply agents and automation. Companies that have WhatsApp chat, customer support ticket, they usually implement these tickets to determine if the question, the tickets, or the request need human intervention or just discard it. Okay, the company wants to implement an AI power system. Okay, in this point, I would like if you can pause the video and try to draw how will be the solution. How you breaking down this solution to create a scalable solution. And please apply all the previous steps, knowledge, pattern, prompt, or just to think about the prompt. It's not needed now. Create the prompt. And also create how will be the ticket JSON. And let's compare with my draw. Let's take a look, and here we have three different workflows. First of all, is the workflow to get the data. As we can see here, we have any sources where the data is coming, where the tickets is coming. Could be an email form, database, Google Sheets, and even can grow with WhatsApp and other stuff. But the point here is this automation have to return the same type of data. It's not the same data, if not, it's the same type of data. And the type of data will be a list of tickets. That's why the different sources can provide a different way the data, but always we can transform and edit the data to tickets and list of tickets. Then we are going to apply the main automation. We get the ticket list, we can apply some validation and errors, we can transform the data if needed, but here is where we have to create categorize and priorities. We are going to use prompts to create categorize, to analyze the text and create a category. But also we need to apply a priority, but both will be in different OpenAI message or ChatGPT message. We are going to join the data to the ticket file. Basically, we are going to add a new file field called category and priority, and here apply the multi-agents. Remember, it's not a completely multi-agent, but it's breaking down the task and decide what will be the best of the respective agent to handle based on the category. And we are going to have a simple agent because this is a simple agent type of agent in charge for each category. Then this agent will make some action based on the ticket or can call to another automation is refer a human. This is where we get the result and refer to human, and that is not very clear what is the action when we have to refer a human. Will be a Slack message, a WhatsApp message, Telegram message, a database, CRM, a new ticket. We have to define. This will be your task. Implement your custom implementation for this. What you would like to apply when refer a human. Now jump to the canvas. Let's say the first one. We have three different sources here. We have data for Google Sheet. Let's say we have a schedule trigger that execute every day with a list of the low priority tickets. That's why we call this endpoint. We can test it. Here is basically the same that we implemented before. Let's test the Google Sheet. Let's say that we have a list of tickets, but after that we have to apply some edit or map data. We have to create a new type of item because we determine that we will need a metadata, and metadata is an object. That's why we create this. If we click on test it, it's taking a little bit time. It's created a new types of JSON. But this is the representation of one of the inputs or sources where the data can come in, because also could be a webhook. Let's say the company has a form, and this form called a HTTP request and send the ticket to here. But also, this is something that I would like to show you, is a Google Sheets trigger. Basically, is when you add a new ticket, a new route to this sheet, this will execute, and you can it's up to you what will be the trigger. Will it be a add new row, will it be a row updated, or both? And in this case I show you because as a this trigger there is tons of trigger. There is let's say a stripe trigger, right? Because it is usually used if you want to watch or listen some info about your balance, your accounts, and execute something after that. This is the representation of different type of source. Here, for example, I have some mock data. If I execute this, let's say I'm going to execute this. I execute this, nice. Also, we apply here some transformation and edit data. Okay, let's say we execute this, or execute this, or execute this. We have to send, or we have to provide a list of tickets, because maybe here is one, maybe here is one as well, but here is a list. In other kind of sources could be a list as well. That's why I recommend implement aggregated here, just to create only one item instead of 25 is in this case, and send to another workflow just one item. Is a huge list of tickets, and it's up to the other workflows how they will handle this data. Is we execute this, let's say test it. Okay, let's see this flow. Okay, it's executing, something was happening. Okay, nice. Here is how this works. We have data, and this is a array of elements or array of tickets. Nice. Let's see the main workflow. Well, the main workflow starts with when this trigger basically is when this another trigger send out data. This is listening and execute. Let's take a look. And here we can use some mock data, some dummy data that we can ping. As I always told you, you have to ping the data when you are working on automation. It's a long list of items, but it's only one item. Remember that, and that's why we have to apply split it up. Why I implement this way? Because this automation here could be applied in different work cases, not just in this. And maybe another automation could be used the data the different way. We are thinking in scalable automation or workflows. Here we applied some prompts to create categories. We have the system prompt dynamically is each of the JSON, and the user, and the system prompt is that everything want to see what's happening here. It's not displaying. Okay, nice. It's pretty easy but accurate. We have the role, we have the task, and we can see there is a couple steps to follow. And I add this custom section. This is the available categorize, and some description about the category, categorize, and the output expected as is usually in automation. Some apply here some rules. You could create some rule section here. It's not required, but will be great. Here is something a little bit special, because I applied edit field both 2 times. But the reason of this is why I always prefer keep the data updated. That's mean if we can take a look, I am getting the data from split it out that item, JSON, and ID. That's mean this data has been provided for split it out. I will to add the new field called categorize. It's provided to the previous one. That's why here say JSON. And I always want to keep the data updated. That's why I create this mix here and provide the updated data here. And here we apply the new field called property. Let's say its property is pretty similar as well. We have a role section, task, a couple of steps to complete the task, available properties, priority, and expected. Here is a little bit different. Expect the result. There is no section, but it's working. As I always told you, you have to test your prompts. If it's working, nice. I create a new field called priority, but as I told you, I always want keep the data updated. You can delete that and here get the data from split it out and add the two new properties. It's up to you. It's always something that I think is more readable and scalable. Okay, I just implement 3 categorize and implement tools in only 2 of them. Because here the point is see how we can integrate the old knowledge that we have been learning in one automation, and that will be how the future automation will be. That is how when you start to create your own automation will be. Okay, we decide here. We have when category is technical issue, you will just click here and add some name just to become more readable the automation. The same with general questions and others. As I told you, there is a special agent for each of the category, and even I represent that. For example, this agent is technical issues. Well, the agent can call the APIs to validate that is a mock data. It's not real checking. Here can do anything else. We have the OpenAI model, and we call an external workflow. That is this. Oh, sorry, is this. That is your homework. Implement this workflow, but there is here this node helps us a lot in the COT prompt. We are going to see all the automation working, but I would like to display the prompt. The prompt is the typical AI agent prompt that we saw, but applying the COT. And maybe you are thinking where I have to apply the COT. In task section is there where you have to apply the COT. As always, you have to list the tool available and a briefly description about the tool. Even here is something important. We have the reference tools human, and this is a complex JSON, and that's why I provide an example. How will be this JSON that the AI agent have to provide to the refer to human node. Let's say how it's referred to humans. We have ticket, categorize, and priorities, but ticket is a huge JSONs, and that's why I click on the model will define what will be the value. We have to add some description here, call this tool to refer tickets or to a human, and here we have to say what will be the workflow to call. I have a couple here, in this case refer to human. It's the same here, but for example, general questions have a kind of database, in this case a Google Sheets, that has a common FAQ with answer. Would be great. In this case, this guy send an email, answer the question, even can get some general explication. The how write down this kind of answer is a quite guide to the agents know how create those response. Also, we have the thinking here, and here is empty. It's up to you if you would like to add some stuff. Also, it's up to you if you would like to add the rest of the path. But the thing is, the main point here is see how we implement, how we breaking down in different workflows to solve the issue. And even I will say will be more scalable if then call the AI engine here implement a different workflow. In this case, that means move this agent to another workflow and call this workflow here, and that way you can implement another stuff in the middle, validation data, and will be more scalable as well. But of course, it's totally up to you. In this case, this will be great, and it will be even better if you implement a different workflow for each of the AI agents. I'm going to run this workflow. It's taking some time because there are couple items, and here we have to wait. Okay, let's see how it looks like add some categorized to technical issues, others, general questions. What else? Technical issue, there is another one. Technical issue, general question, other product feedback as well. Let's say how to the product more benefit level risk. Yeah, makes sense based on the message. And this, okay, add some priority, and here is working. Okay, it's calling to human, and you can download this. Of course, you will get all resources about this agent on module 4. Open this folder, and here is where you have the entire workflow. After that, we are going to start to implement the real world problems. We're going to see scrapping. We're going to scrap some pages and apply a real world problem, and there the result will be important. In the previous one, the workflow that we saw, the result was not the most important, was the how we do that. We're going to see the RAT system, RAT chatbot, where we expect some results, and finally lead generation. We have been working with lead generation, but how do we a real world in real lead generation and expected wonderful results. Let's see in the next lesson.